Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Amra and this is Amra's Beauty Blog. I'm a freelance makeup artist with a passion for all things beauty. If you're a subscriber, then a welcome return. If you like this video, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for weekly uploads. So today I'm going to be talking about one of my favourite brands, Dior. I managed to pick up a few of their pieces from their new Blooming Boudoir collection. It came in this gorgeous bag. As part of that, they also had this gorgeous box as well that it came in. I have a local Dior store which is in my area. Lovely wrapped items. I've got the Miss Dior Bougie Parfumé scented candle. So this is one of the candles that is part of this new collection. I'm going to show you what it's like inside. I also picked up the DIORSHOW 10 Couleurs, which is in the limited edition packaging, and the colours are really nice and bright, so I'm going to see how this looks. I also picked up their Forever Cushion Powder, which is part of the new collection, again in the beautiful packaging, which I'll show you, and it is in 050 Lavender limited edition, and I believe this is the one that's not shiny or not glittery, which a lot of people have been excited about. And then finally I picked up the Dior Fashion lipstick case, and I'm going to just show you what it looks like. I'll finish it off with a lip that I will show you from a Dior lip, just to show you what this Dior Addict looks like with the lip inside it. So these are the 4 items that I picked up. It has the Christian Dior logo at the top when you open it. Wow, it smells gorgeous. And when you take it out of the packaging, you've got the lovely design of the flowers across the box, and then oh, it smells gorgeous. So this is the candle and it's absolutely stunning. It smells beautiful and I'm really excited. This is the Miss Dior scented candle. I have the other candle as well that I bought from the previous collection, but I love their candles, so I'm glad that I picked this up as well. I'm going to be definitely trying that. This one is 85 grams. So this is what the candle looks like in terms of the ceramic packaging. It's just gorgeous. This is what it looks like inside. So I'll quickly show you the other items. This is the Dior Addict Blooming Boudoir case, and it has the gorgeous print on it, and it has Dior as well. I have a lot of these, so it's really good that I can change the case when I want to, and it's such a gorgeous collection. So this is what the case looks like. So pretty. And then the lipstick goes in there. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the Forever Cushion Powder, and it's in the colour 040 Lavender. And I do have their previous one which had a bit of kind of glitter to it. This is the one that doesn't, and I've been told this is the better one. This is what it looks like. It's got CD, Christian Dior there, and then the print on it. I'll show you what it looks like in a bit more detail. But it opens up, there is a mirror, there is a compact, there is a little sort of sponge applicator, and then you open it up again, and then you have this part here which you can pull. Let me show you how it looks. It's really gorgeous. Now the material on here is very similar to the lip case that I showed you. It's kind of fabric, but the print is sort of been put on there. So you can see the gorgeous print on either side. It's really lovely. So finally, this is the last piece that I picked up from the collection. Now they did have shades of the Dior Addict lip that they released as well, but when I was in store and I tried them on, they didn't really do anything for me, so I didn't pick them up. However, I'm happy to kind of put another colour on to show you and just finish off the look once I've done the eye look. This has 10 colours, and if you've watched my other videos, you know I would have reviewed the other ones they released in this. So there were 2 others so far, and I picked up those. So this is like my 3rd one from sort of this sort of type of collection and set, and this one is 10 couleurs. So again, you get 10 shades. You can see how gorgeous the packaging is. Dior never disappoint when it comes to packaging. You can see that these are definitely more highlighter shades. They're not shades that I would most likely use over my eyes. However, you've got like a nice base shade there. There are some lighter colours here. I mean, you can even use these shades, which I've done in the past, as a blush because they're a little bit more on the sort of pinky or warmier side. Then this here is perfect for eyeshadows. I mean, I love the fact that you can play around with this palette and do what you like. The light was shining in a little bit. So these are the shades, and I'd say these are definitely more highlighter shades on the right here. Then you've got colours that you could probably use as a blush, which is the top shades here, and then you can play around with these as sort of eye look, and even the ones on the end. So I like the way that there's a lot of diversity and that you can use this for a number of things. And just to say, I mean, this is lovely, obviously, the cover, but it's white. So if anything gets on there, it will likely stain. So be really careful when you're using it. Okay, so let's do some swatching. I will swatch these. A little bit difficult to do because I don't want to damage the front because it's quite fiddly. So I'm going to get this swatched and I'll show you on my arm in the next section of this video. Okay, so here are all the shades swatched on my arm, starting with this side, which is those highlighter shades that I showed you, moving across to all the other shades. It's a lot of colours, 10 colours, so there are quite a few looks that you could probably do with this palette, which I like about this palette. I'm going to see what I can do, and we're going to try to do either a look or 2 together. I'm going to take a colour and just put a base down. So I'm going to start off with this shade here. I wish that was slightly deeper. I mean, you can see the colour on my eyes, it's coming through, but it would have probably been a little bit more nicer to have it a little bit darker. But I'm going to put this shade here on top. Yeah, it's definitely brightened the eye a little bit more. And I think I'm going to take the sort of more purpley shade. I'm just going to put that on the outside. So we're going to start off with this purpley shade on the edge here, which is this one here. Definitely gives me sort of like 80s vibes. I think I'm going to take this yellow shade here, just there. I'm going to place that yellow shade just around here. It's definitely feeling very spring-like actually. I wouldn't expect this palette to come out this time of year because it looks quite spring. I'm liking what we're doing so far. I've used most of the shades now. I'm going to take that darker purple shade, that one there, and I'm going to line it under my eyes. I'm going to use a smaller brush. So let's take this shade. It's quite a deep shade. We're just going to line it. Oh, I think that's kind of cool actually. I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit. Well, that's very interesting. I like that. Right, so I'm just going to take that up, and then what I'm going to do now is take one of the highlighter shades. So we'll go with, we've used all the colours almost now. I think we'll take this one. I'm going to put that on the inner corner. Then on my brow bone. First, I'm going to try this shade as a blush. So I've got one of my Sonia G brushes, which is that little bit more thinner. And then I'm going to take the other shade, which is that more warmer pinky shade, just to intensify it. And then finally, I'm going to take the last shade, which we haven't tried, which is this one here, and I'm going to put that on top as like a highlighter. That's really cute. Right, I'm going to go off. I'm just going to add some eye makeup. So I'm going to add some more mascara, some liner, some brow, and then we're going to finish off with the lip and mascara, and then I'll give you my thoughts on what I think of this palette. So I've gone away and I've added some liner, some mascara, and I've also added some brow. It's definitely made the look a little bit more complete. So let's put on the final piece, which is the lipstick. So what I wanted to show you is one of the lipsticks that I bought previously that I haven't talked about. This one is in the colour 526 Mallow Rose. It's one of their Dior Addict shades in a shine lipstick. What normally happens is when you buy it separately or when you buy it without the special case, it looks like this. So this is what it looks like with the special case. So I basically take that part from here and then put it into here, and then that's what the case looks like with it in. And I'm going to show you this colour because I think it's going to look really nice with this look. I remember buying this a while back. It's a shiny lipstick. It's got Christian Dior written at the tip. So this is the shade Mallow Rose, and I really liked this when I tried it on, and so picked this up. Let's do a quick hand swatch before I put it on. So here is a hand swatch of Mallow Rose, and you can see why I think it will look nice with this look. Such a gorgeous shade. Okay, so this is Mallow Rose, so let's put this on together. Oh, cute. Beautiful shade. And I love the formula of this. This one is the one with the shiny texture, and you can see how shiny it is on my lips. It's really, really pretty. Okay, so this is the final look. I decided to stick with one look today because I think that there are lots of things you can do with this palette, but I thought it would be nice just to show you using all the colours what I could create. If, for example, I was out and about, I had this whole palette and then I wanted to do a full look with all the shades. I really like that sort of spring-like look to my eyes. It's very sort of fresh, and compared to a lot of the looks at the moment for like autumn winter, it's a little bit more bright, and yeah, I really like it. So the final thing I wanted to show you was, this is the powder, and everyone has kind of been like, oh, this powder is fantastic. So I thought, let's have a look at it together. Now my skin is getting a little bit more on the drier side because of the central heating and the way that the weather has changed, and it's gotten colder and cooler. So I don't know how often I would use this, but I generally like to use it on my T-zone, just so that when I'm out, the makeup sets and stays. It's the loose powder, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up. You get this mirror that I said before, which is fantastic, and then you get the applicator. What I will do today is not use that. I'm going to use just a brush just to put it on the T-zone, but before I do that, I'm going to open it up and I'm just going to show you what the powder looks like. Can you see the powder there? It's like a purpley, translucent loose powder, so it's really, really nice. And I think this will cancel out sort of dullness. I'm going to take my Sonia G brush, just going to tap into that powder, just on the surface. Can you see that there? I'll do a hand swatch for you afterwards as well, just to show you what it looks like. But you can see that the powder is very light, very translucent. So I'm going to take that powder and I'm just going to put it directly on my T-zone, just in the areas where I get a little bit shiny throughout the day, and then just a little bit under my eyes. Feels really light. What's interesting as well is you can see how it's sort of mattified and kind of just blurred my pores on my nose, given the look a little bit more of a kind of matte-like finish around my sort of T-zone area, where I'm still glowing around my cheeks and where I've put the highlighter, but just on the T-zone it's a little bit more sort of powdered. And yeah, I really, really like this. The purple doesn't show through at all. Feels really, really lovely on. It does remind me of the powder that I just did the review on for Suku and their new purple powder. What I'm going to do is a side-by-side comparison on my hand shortly, just to show you the difference and give you my thoughts on which one I prefer, because I think you're probably thinking which one is going to be better for your skin tone or for you. Now, I think this is going to be universal for all skin tones. That's why they only brought out one colour. But in terms of how it feels, I can give you my comparison with the two in a minute. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm really liking the result. So I'm just going to do a quick hand swatch of the powder. It's really hard because it's so finely milled to put it as a swatch. So you're probably thinking, oh my god, it's a powder party. So basically this is the new shade that I just put on my face. This is the Suku one that I did a review on the other day. This is the Dior one that came out with the other sort of white print, if you remember. And this is the one that had the leopard print. So this is more rosy, this is more glittery, which is the two Dior ones. That's the Dior one as it stands, which is not glittery at all. It's powdery, leaning more, slightly darker than the Suku shade. The textures are all quite similar from the three Diors. However, the Suku one is a little bit more powdery, I'd say. It's a lot more softer, I think, when I compare the other three to the Suku one. So if you just need me to remind you, this is what they all look like. So this is the one we just did the review on, and this one relates to this shade here, which is the one that has worked really well on my skin. This one is the Suku one that I did the recent review on, and it's this lovely sort of finely milled powder, which a lot of people really, really liked when it came out. And it's this one here. This one is the glittery one, which is the one here, which if you saw from last year, a lot of people complained because it was glittery. Now, I don't mind that on a night out. I think that will look really lovely, but for the day, I probably suggest the one that I recently bought, or the previous ones, or even the Suku one. This is the leopard print one I was talking about, and that relates to this one here, where you can see it's more on the rosy side of tone. But these are all the powders side by side. So that is everything. I've demonstrated the products to you, and I just wanted to give you my final thoughts. I love the powder. The powder is better than last year's one in the sense that it's more wearable. So if you're looking for a powder that is everyday, that doesn't sort of highlight anything, blurs things, makes things look really lovely and sort of natural still, then I would go with this particular powder. And in terms of the palette itself, I think that it's not a must buy. I'm a collector, so I love sort of when Dior bring out special palettes, because I like to collect the ones that kind of catch my eye and that are really pretty and work for me. I enjoy the fact that this is a little bit different, the colour story. However, I wish that it was leaning towards a theme more. I feel like I don't know what the theme is for this one. It's sort of come out at a time when you're getting a lot of autumn and winter collections and they have a theme. You know, when we look at Suku, when we look at Chanel, it's all kind of deep, or the colours are quite darker, or there is some kind of thread or story that we can follow in terms of the colour story. With this one, I felt like the colours reminded me of spring. I'm definitely going to use this when I'm doing a kind of look where I want something a little bit different. I don't know if it's one that I'll pick up every day, purely because the colour story isn't as easy to use as, say, the previous two 10 colours that they released. And so I think this is kind of like its own story and its own sort of unique blend of colours. What I would say is that Dior have launched other things recently that may be more everyday and that you get more use out of. I'm going to be doing some videos on the Backstage collection, which I picked up some of the new eyeshadow palettes and the new Dior Addict lip colours that go with it. So I will be demonstrating that to you, because I think that may be something that would appeal more to people that want something they can use every day. I'm not saying these colours aren't everyday shades, but you have to kind of think out of the box a little bit. And if you're a little bit more experimental, then maybe these colours are going to be a little bit more up your street. But if you're someone who's quite used to sort of safe colours, neutral colours, this isn't really going to appeal. So I just wanted to let you know that that's kind of what I thought when I first saw the colour story. Now the packaging is absolutely stunning and it's very Dior and very beautiful and very unique to Dior. In terms of the case, I think the case is beautiful, and the candle that I bought, it's all very beautiful as I would expect from Dior. But I think for this particular eyeshadow palette, I have made a sort of lovely colour story with it, and I think that I could definitely make it work, and I think it does work for my skin tone. However, it's not a necessity. I don't think you necessarily need to get this unless you're a collector of Dior and you want some unique shades. Then I would definitely say it's good to pick up for that reason. I really love this lip. I knew I would like this lip because I tried it in store, and that's my sort of litmus test to make sure that these colours work for me. If I have a Dior store that's local to me, or I can pop into store, I'd prefer to try in particular lipsticks first, because I have pigmented lips. They always come out a little bit different. Even though Dior launched some colours for the Blooming Boudoir collection, I didn't pick up any of those shades because I felt like they were a little bit too light for me, whereas this one has a little bit more oomph and a bit more colour and is a little bit more better for my skin tone really. So what I would say is that yes, we do have new collections and you do get drawn to them, but remember that pick things that match you and don't necessarily go with the fashion in terms of a particular lipstick shade, because lipsticks are very unique and personal to you, as is eyeshadows, but lipstick definitely is something that I always need to try out first. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really love the collection in terms of the aesthetics and the way that they're doing something a little bit different. I enjoy that, but I know not everybody does. So do let me know if you picked up any pieces from this collection. It kind of slipped under the radar a little bit because there's been so many launches, and I haven't always picked up every launch because I only pick up things that kind of appeal to me, and so this kind of appealed to me because it was a little bit different. I hope that it's helped if you're thinking about picking it up and helped you to decide what you might want to pick up. Anyway, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you.